Okay, I'm a local in Florida. Okay, I'm close to the parks. I go to the parks all the time. I like going, right? As a local, I have an annual pass for our price, what we get, and I can go basically 7 days a week besides blackout dates when holidays and stuff comes. It's very convenient for me to be like, hey, you know what? I want to go eat dinner. I go to the park. Hey, I want to go on one ride. I go to the park. Okay. But for the average person, for the person that doesn't live near us, that they try to go to the park, they're spending thousands of dollars with airfare, hotels, the parks, the fast passes. It's ridiculous, right? So when those people stop coming and less people come because it's too expensive, they depend on us. The locals that come in and spend money for a Coke or a coffee or going on a ride or buying a hot dog or whatever it is. Okay. So Disney's concerns about the high prices as guests' intent to return drops. A new report from Robbie, was that Willen, as the Wall Street Journal updates a picture of price hikes at Disney's theme parks. The strain puts on the guests and the internal discussion of Disney on how they mitigate losing guests over pricing. Okay, as they were concerned of touring plans to collect the present data and how the pricing to play the role of decisions of Americans to visit Walt Disney World. Okay, so it's been updated on February 10th. The Walt Disney Company has issued a new press release, very likely to respond to the criticism of the Wall Street Journal article and resulting backlash against Disney's pricing on social media. Here's a response followed by the article below original written. Okay. So, as Disney fans know that Disney Vacation has become more expensive and complicated than Disney Experience's chairman, okay, CEO Bob Chapek and other executives put in place rules of pricing and restrictions followed by COVID-19 shutdowns. Some restrictions have been lifted for some guests, but also Disney's most loyal fan base, annual pass holders, still have to deal with park reservation system and aims to restrict access above and beyond blackout dates already banked into annual pass tiers. They made it so confusing for us of when we could go. We've driven over there and we couldn't get into the park because they implemented a blackout date, extra blackout date. They just constantly just do it, right? So a big area of where the cash grab has been undeniable is the billion-dollar Skip Alliance service now called Lightning Lane, previously Genie Plus. A pre-COVID Fast Pass Plus was our free offering, allowing guests to skip the line some attractions throughout the day. Now Lightning Lane Multi-Pass is essentially the exact same service, but with a price tag. A Lightning Lane Premium Pass and the most expensive tier of Skip the Line service maxes out at $449 per person per day. Let me say that again out loud, slowly for some of you. Okay. $449 per person per day to skip the line, which was a free, like you just had to go in, put your ticket in the machine and book your ticket, right? And you can get on. Now you have to pay $449 to get in, okay? On top of your ticket price, okay? On top of your ticket price. The offering, such as the removal of Magic Express airport hotel service, was a huge loss to Disney fans, and the removal of previously free offerings along with the continued introduction of price hikes has made Disney vacations significantly more expensive in post-COVID. And once you go up, they're never coming back down, right? They're never coming back down. So the report of the Wall Street Journal says that some inside Disney worry that the company has become an addiction to price hikes, has reached the limits of what middle-class Americans can afford. The report says the internal discussion have become a more frequent. Disney is going too far with the price strategies. They're doing exactly, and the funny part is, okay, if you guys are followed us on this channel, okay, the Disney hotel they created for the Star Wars Galaxy's, Star Cruiser, they priced themselves out because, one, they made a hotel based on a trilogy that nobody gave a shit about, okay? Took $1 billion to make. They put in the wrong trilogy. If you put Darth Vader and Luke Skywalker and Boba Fett and Han Solo, it would have made buku bucks. But they priced out the normal person to go to these things and only went for the high-class celebrity, rich people, and that's why that hotel failed. Now they're doing the exact same format, but they're doing it for the parks themselves. I know we say this, or I say this, and other people say this, okay? Walt Disney would be rolling over in his grave, okay? He made a park originally so normal families could take their kids to the park and have a wonderful time, okay? When the park opened up back in 1972 here in Florida, okay, you could go for $5 to $7. Obviously, there's a lot more there now than there was back then, but now a day pass to Magic Kingdom is like $180 to $220. And if you want to go skip the line, it's going to be an additional up to $449 per person. Tell me what family, normal income family, can afford to take their kids to the park, right? It's insanity. It's insanity. Okay. So the reports say that the return in November of 2022, Iger's return, was concerned that Disney is getting a reputation of being too expensive, he asked. Damara, the upcoming list of things the company could bring back the fans. Damara says reportedly offered to suggest such removing the parking fee at hotels, adding more dates to the lowest tier of ticket prices, and it also could freeze the annual pass increase for tickets. Iger also liked 2 out of the 3 suggestions, keeping the annual pass price increase in place. This bastard, okay, this bastard every year raises prices. So my annual pass that I pay for, let's say it cost $600. I forget what tier we're on. Let's say it's $600 a person for the year. Next year it'll be $800. The year after that it'll be $1,000. The year after that it'll be $1,100. Right? They keep raising it a certain percentage. Well, at what point, if every year you're raising it 3%, 7%, 10%, whatever you're raising it, where does it stop? So 10 years from now, you think I'm going to pay an annual pass? You think I'm going to pay an annual pass of $2,000 per person? Like, get the fuck out of here, right? You think because less people, but they pay more money, you're going to be more successful. You're idiots, okay? Because they always need this price to go up like this. Not like this, okay? And that's the problem, okay? Guest intent to return plummets. The report says that Disney owns internal services of guests visiting Walt Disney World. Disneyland saw a sharp downward trend starting in late 2023 for intent to return. Indeed, Disney financials filings show the attendance of Disney theme parks was flat in 2024 compared to 6% growth in 2023. Disney still experiences post-record revenue and profits in 2024 thanks to an aggressive price strategy. Additional colors such as hotel bookings were flat in 2024, domestically 85% occupancy. The same occupancy figured in 2023 in terms of guests spending domestic parks saw a 3% uptick in 2024, and internal parks up 4%. Okay, theme parks admission revenues was up 7% year over year, up to $11.1 billion in 2024 from $10.4 billion in 2023. The increase in revenue was 5%, and also to average increase of average ticket prices, 2% increase in attendance. The theme park admission is also a large subsegment of the experience line of business, followed by hotels, cruises, $8.3 billion, and theme park food merchant of $8 billion. Okay, and let me tell you, these I'm gonna call it how it is. These fuckers, okay, at Disney World, at the Walt Disney Company, they don't pay for a lot of their stuff, right? They don't pay for their Coke products. The Coke products is given to Coke for free, and this is the way Disney says it. Well, it would be stupid of you not to give us this deal because we could go somewhere else. They could go to Pepsi and say, hey, Pepsi will take this deal, and we're not going to pay them anything either. So obviously Coke is like, no, we'll take the deal. And they supply them with Coke for advertisement purposes, right? Because when you're at the park, you know Coke is there. And they don't pay. And yet they have the balls, Walt Disney World, to charge $5, $6 for drinks that they pay $0 on. Okay? That's because they need this. They don't need this. They need this. Okay. So here you go. Multi-day tickets, 2 days. Okay. Theme park reservations required for each date of your visit. Okay. A park hopper, which means that you have to show up to one park and then you can go to another one, is $372. 20 years ago, a park hopper pass was $99. Just 20 years ago. Okay. Now it's $372, and that's for 10 plus. Okay. 10 plus. Okay. A 10-year-old is charged the same price as an adult. Okay, 2 days, $292. 3 days is $452. 4 days is $580. Okay. It says in terms of cost, Walt Disney World vacation data from Touring Plans says a typical 4-day visit to Walt Disney World has jumped $1,000 in 5 years, adjusted for inflation. The data collected by Touring Plans tallies that the cost of Walt Disney World vacation is $4,266. Okay. The report says that almost 80% of the jump in price is for things that are also previously free. While 20% of the cost came from Disney's rising prices faster than the rate of inflation, Disney disagrees. The report says that Disney argues that the same family of four could enjoy a 4-day vacation for as little as $3,000 before food and transportation costs, noting that the guests don't need to purchase a Lightning Lane pass to have a good time. I can go on a 7-day cruise with a family of 4 for half the price of what they're charging to go for 1 day. Okay. In a poll from Wall Street Journal, Harris Poll asked more than 2,000 households about the experiential vacation. 74% said the experience, like cruises and theme parks, are financially out of reach. For responses said that cutting back on Disney's vacation, 59% cited cost. 27% said that they were no longer interested in visiting Disney's theme parks, while 14% that they didn't have the time. Disney said that the poll was flawed and misleading. I'm sure it was, because you didn't like the answers. In June of 2024, Leading Trees surveyed 2,000 families. Around that, 45% of families visit Disney with children went into debt to pay for vacation. Guys, let me give you. You do what you want with your money, but if you have no money, do not go into debt to go on vacation. Okay, there's a lot of other things that you could do without going in debt because you want to have your 4-year-old remember Disney World. Let me tell you, your 4-year-old won't remember Disney World. Okay, your 2-year-old, 3-year-old also will not remember Disney World. Do not go in debt for your 4-year-old. Right? Go in debt in other ways of your 4-year-old. Okay. In June of 2024, let's see. A rather stunning part of Wall Street Journal's report said that Disney Vacation Club survey this fall asked guests how likely they were to receive/manage an inheritance or experience a loss of family member or loved one over the next 5 years. Okay, while Disney's theme park vacation is still a rite of passage for many American families, the risk of losing repeat visitors starts the minute guests add up their expenses. Back in December, Disney CEO Hugh Johnston spoke about the importance of ensuring that Disney Parks vacation is part of the habit of families and not one of the time splurges. It says, quote, "We want to be able to tap into those families and build the habit of coming back to Disneyland or Disney World, not one time, but multiple times," Johnson said. Okay, in a written statement, the Wall Street Journal tomorrow talked about the importance of creating not only a memorable vacation, but an affordable one too. Do these people not understand that if I can afford to take my family to Disney World, I can, because we're real close, okay? My parents used to go to Disney World every 4 years. Every 4 years, we used to go to Disney World. And that's what they saved up and went back and then afford. And we would drive. We would drive down to Florida, because we used to live in New York, and we would go to Disney World. It was awesome, right? I remember the trip. I remember the stuff, okay? Then we did it when we were here. We lived in South Florida, and then we would drive up to go to Disney World every couple years. We went repeatedly, okay? What these people don't understand is they think that someone spends, my buddy who lives in Texas brought his family over, spent the airfare and the hotel were comped with points, okay? And the man spent almost $10,000 to take the family of 4 for 1 week, okay? Crazy. That's crazy. All right. So further, Disney said that the theme parks are within the financial reach of middle-class families, and the offers range of pricing a product to ensure that it stays that way. Year's round promotion also play a big part of Disney's pricing strategy. Disney says the majority of respondents of their own internal guest services offers great value for the price paid. That said, Disney says that it's also dealing with the growing cost of operating the theme park due to inflation. Disney also uses pricing to manage attendance, making it more expensive to visit during high-demand periods. Right. It's like the toll that they added in the middle of the roads for a lot of states, where, like, if you take the toll from your house to the downtown during prime hours, it's like $20. But if you take it like 2 o'clock in the afternoon, it's like $3. They just randomly just make it more expensive or not expensive. It says, as always, keep checking back to here with blogmickey.com to continue to bring out the latest news, right? So it's absurd that these companies think that, well, it's sort of like microtransactions, right? They would rather charge, $50 for a microtransaction and have 100 people pay $50 than have 1,000 people pay $20. You know what I mean? And it's just it's a concerning thing because, look, they can spin it all they want. I know what it is. I go to the park all the time. I see when it's dead. I see when it's busy. And even when it's busy, it's not as busy as they think. They make the times look like they're longer. They'll tell you that there's a time of an hour and a half wait. We get through in 20 minutes. Okay? So it's all a bunch of malarkey. That's right, malarkey. We're using old words here. Okay? Where they tell you that it's busy. They tell you that there's long lines. But it's all false. It's all fake it till you make it type of stuff. And they keep charging you stuff. And how pissed off would you be if you spent $429 to go on a fast pass When you walk up to the line, you can just go in the standard line because there is no wait or a small wait. I would be pissed off as hell. But again, I think they're lost on what the middle class family is compared to what the rich family is. Okay, a rich family that could take a family of 4 and spend $10,000 on a trip is not your middle class family. I'm sorry, it's not. Okay, but these are just my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comment section down below. Are you willing to take your kids to a vacation and spend somewhere upwards of $6,000 to $8,000 to $10,000 to come to Disney for a trip of 7 days? Let me know in the comment section down below. Let me know in the live chat what you think is a good price and where do they price themselves out. We have people in the chat complaining if Game Pass went up to $25 or $30, they'd be out, right? But yet these are the same people that would go to a park and spend $500 to go on a fast lane. I highly doubt it. Again, these are just my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comment section down below. Please make sure you share, like, subscribe, and thank you, as always. See you on the next one.